Bienvenue dans Sharing is Caring, le podcast dédié au job sharing. Dans ce podcast, vous découvrirez des témoignages de duos inspirants qui ont pratiqué le job sharing.
Vous découvrirez également le point de vue des entreprises, des DRH et des managers sur ce nouveau mode de travail.
Dans notre 6e épisode, nous accueillons Lea et Nina, un épisode spécial en anglais.
Let's already start our discussion with you. So first of all, Léni, we wanted to know, how did you come to work in job sharing? And yes, why did you choose that? And how did you find also each other?
Yes, Nina already explained that we know each other since our apprenticeship. We started here in 2017. And after the apprenticeship, I started in marketing. And my former leaders were or still are a job sharing couple. So I had a lot of experience with a leading tandem. And as I decided to do studies besides the job, they said, yes, you can just do a job sharing, and we have someone who came back from parental leave and maybe you're a great couple, so let's try this. And I started a job sharing with another person before Nina, and then we decided to move, to take a step in another position, and we decided to go this way together, and yes, applied to a new job, which was the management of the product shop. So we had this position and we developed it, and then the new campus project came and we moved. So in Eimsbüttel, but we moved to a new building and then set up our team. So now we have a leading position. So we developed our job and yes, took the responsibility of 10 people and now have the management of the product and e-shop, including the team and the leadership role.
Okay, and so the reason you decided to go for job sharing for you both, what was there?
So because of I also started besides my work to do a bachelor degree, and because of this I worked part-time in the event management field before we applied to the new job, because then I couldn't manage it. Working in part-time and doing event management was quite challenging. Then I was searching for a position, and this position was in full-time posted. So I reached out to Lea and asked her if she could imagine to do a job sharing on this position, because it was 100% and I was only working 60%. So then together we applied for this new job because of our university thing and our bachelor degree.
Yes, it was more or less a decision because of our part-time.
Yeah.
And the new job was a full-time job, and every job which is posted is also imaginable for job sharing. So we decided to do it. And yes, it works out great.
And did you have to convince your manager to...
Yes, so we applied together with a shared CV, and then also with our manager, we shared him our vision to split a week like a classic tandem in Beiersdorf. So I worked Monday to Wednesday, and then Wednesday to Friday, and Wednesday was our magic day, because then we were together working. So we had 120%. But we managed to convince him that this is a great win also for Beiersdorf. And he was also known to tandems, because in the leadership team from his department, there were also tandems working, or one tandem is working. So.
Okay.
The concept.
Yeah. Did he have some, or did she? I don't know if it was a he or she was your manager, but did this person had some doubts or about how would it work with you? And then were there any good surprise after? What was there?
It's a he, and I think I think there were no big doubts. So he asked us how we would manage, and then I think in the first month he saw that it's working very well, and he also developed us. So he is a really big supporter of Léni. So this
Mhm.
was not so challenging to convince.
What was these the main benefits he saw in this having you as a tandem in his team?
So he had always two perspectives, and also our results from our daily work are, I would say, much clearer because we spare before we present something to him, and for him it was super easy to work with us because there was always solutions presented and he was just taking the risk or say A or B. So because of our tandem work and also our reflection and the feedback process beforehand, it was very nice to work with him or for him to work with us because our results are very clear and structured.
And he wanted to have our mindset from the further apartments we worked in. And we were only there for 3 days a week because of our studies. So if this is a full-time position, the only chance to get us was in a tandem.
Yeah.
And Christina, when did you become part of the duo, the tandem?
So the job sharing approach at Beiersdorf now has a history already. And as I already said, we started with this female empowerment in 2007, 8, 9, 10 already. And there it was in this niche. And then in 2020, we started to reframe the approach because we already heard those voices of employees, not only from a parental perspective, but also for other needs, like Léa already explained, when starting studying or finishing studies alongside, or also starting maybe a small business and want to reduce the working time. And then, I support tandem building with matchmaking in the background since 2019. I found out that the most important part is still creating transparency and consultancy. So to provide our tandems with information, because this is not, or it has not been maybe supported before, or the transparency was not there with the information in the background, and that's why when I come into play. And I remember Léa, when I started promoting the job sharing coaching, right? This was the first touch point we had. I know at least Nina, I already knew before from her former role in event management. And I can also remember, Lea, where you took over the job sharing position with this returning mom, as you described. I can remember that. And then when you were applying for the new role, got it, and then the external job sharing coaching was offered, as we as Beiersdorf support any new tandem since 2020 with this external coaching, with the basic coaching sessions. And since then we are in contact, because I'm in very close contact to almost any of our tandems we have, and try to support as best as possible. And we work together on creating a transparency still. This is still very valuable, creating transparency, discovering the hurdles, and then to find common solutions how to overcome them.
And you said that for each tandem you offer a coaching support, a coach support, right?
For any new built tandem, either because I matchmake, I connected employees, but also when I learned from tandems who came together via, I don't know, matchmaking by our HR business partners or managers, then we support any new tandem to guarantee a smooth onboarding in a new role together. Yes, we do this.
And for this coaching, Léa, how did it help you in setting up your tandem?
Yeah, it was super nice because we learned how we are So we worked individually, but also together. So what is our approach for the work result also, and how we could also deal with our stakeholders. So it was in general a nice way. So how we are working and what is the best approach to do it.
Yeah, how we can organize meetings and stuff like this, because we already knew each other at this moment. So it was not a first get in touch, which this is, I think, normally this coaching. So it was more about organizing and the work results, as Nina said.
And can you explain how you organize your daily work together?
Yes, now it has changed because now I'm working in full time and we have a 180% position because we take over the responsibility for the team and we need more time. So now it changed. We are organizing every Monday because we have our OneNote where we took notes and where's everything, what we need in it, every information I have to share with Nina or we have to just remind us of. So we organize every Monday and check who is getting in which meeting, who is talking to whom. So this is basically what we're doing, because on Wednesdays I'm working alone and the other days we are sharing.
And regarding the split of the project, do you work on the same project together always, or do you split, or sometimes one has more the responsibility of one and another one of another one, or how's it now and also before when you were 60%?
So when we worked 60-60, we split everything. So the person who was in the office was responsible and taking over everything, so that there was no delay in responding to our stakeholders. But nowadays we are splitting, depends on the project. So how important is it? Some things is only Lea doing or myself. Regarding our people, so our team members, we are splitting also. Some development talks we are doing together, or sometimes feedback sessions we are also splitting, because then it's nicer to talk one-to-one. Sometimes 2-to-1 is not so nice, but on with our HRVP, we are always talking together because it's important that we have also first-hand information when there are some things. But I would say it depends on the project.
Yeah, it depends on the project and the main points we are still sharing, so that you know at least what is the topic.
Okay. Yes.
But you can always sum up a meeting what was 1 hour and maybe in 5 minutes, or
Okay.
the key takeaways in 5 sentences.
Yeah, this is really a learning.
No, I understand. Because then, Christina, in average, how many tandems do you have now at Beiersdorf? And in general, how do they split? Are they 60%, or because here you have now 180%? What's the average, and then in which type of roles of position?
So since we always report twice a year, so end of June, end of December. End of December, we had 45 tandems altogether, but this is already now a global number because we also have 2 tandems working in Eastern Europe, one in Vienna and one in Prague.
Cool.
Yes, and we have
out.
two cross-border approaches. So where one person is working from an affiliate and one in Hamburg.
We know one. I think we know.
Yes, one yes, and the other one in procurement, in global procurement on location-free roles. And now we are really tapping also in the field of new work. So this is really since 2020 the approach that it's not only about job sharing, female empowerment and supporting part-time, but also exploring new ways of working. As Léni already explained, they are sitting on a bigger role now. And it's not that this is a role 100%, and they are working on it with 1.8. This is not the case. And from a job sharing perspective, the role decides about the capacity. And we have a lot of tandems still preferring working part-time in 60%, but there's also an amount of tandems working on bigger roles, sharing more work, either in 1.5, 1.4, 1.8, but it's not 100% role, so it's not one FTE, but these are bigger roles, like Leni already explained it.
Okay. And then do you see how many mixed tandem, or do you see an increase of male also in this in the tandem? And also, what are the main reasons why the people are choosing working in tandem in job sharing?
Just let me add something on the point before. When I say job sharing tandems are sitting on bigger roles, I missed one point that we also did new work, that we have one role, one FTE, and a tandem is sharing this role kind of part-time, but they are working 100% because the rest of the capacity, so 40%, are spent in individual projects, which they don't share with the other person. So this is also important to me. The more agile part of this concept. Men are working in tandem or are interested in tandem historically since 2018, because I'm doing also the KPIs and the reporting. Main reason for now is the family phase. So children also have fathers who want to work in this model, and also other reasons, like you remember from your former job sharing partner, doing more studies, doing the PhD, for example. So other interests than only work. This is also developing, and the number is still a little bit volatile. End of December, we had 10 men in a tandem, so one male tandem. It is also a handover relation where somebody at the end of the career is sharing a role together with a young talent with a first responsibility for people.
And the rest, and they are doing this. It's 200%, or on 180 or 60 for this transition.
I think this is a full-time tandem with a complex role. Yes.
Okay, super.
And with another purpose also behind.
Super
like
interesting.
Transferring 30 years of experience to another person. And then the rest of our men are sharing their job with women, so mixed gender approaches.
So that's evolving, huh?
Super. Yes, small steps.
Yeah.
Leni, how do you make a decision together?
Yeah, so when we are working together, we are always taking decisions together, and also discussing decisions. It depends on the project and also how important are they. So small decisions everybody takes for their own, and we are fully trusted each other. So it's no problem when we are on vacation and they are taking a decision. I'm taking it too, and also working with this decision along the way. And I would say our approach is
I think we are working in a tandem since 2021, and I know what Nina would say to this decision. So I think we can sometimes think for us two in one person.
So when Lea is on vacation and there's this challenging question, I'm sometimes typing in a WhatsApp but not sending them, but then I'm just thinking about it, and then that's what her answer be, and then I'm just making sure that we are on the same page.
If you have some doubts or some challenge or facing difficulties, do you have an example where it was quite challenging, and then how did you overcome?
Since we have our leadership role, there are sometimes difficult decisions to make, and if we are not ready to decide, I think we have some stakeholders, our leader and also our HR business partner, who is always in charge and is supporting us. So there are many ways and many great supporters. We also have in addition to our job sharing. But I think this is also what goes, the more time you work on a job, the faster you can make a decision. And I would say also discussing the decision, so seeing which points are working for this or for that, and then combining the approaches is a very nice example for job sharing.
So the longer you work together, the faster it goes.
And what about your annual evaluation? Is it together? Is it splitting? So how does it work?
And do you have common targets or not, or specific dedicated targets to each other?
So we do our development meetings together with our leader, but you can decide how you want to do it. So it's very an individual decision, but we do it together, and I think we will do it together the next time. So we have our priorities, which can be individual, but which can also be just for me or just for Nina. So this is something which you put in our system and discuss with our leader. But I think it's very important that Nina also knows my priorities and the reasons behind it. Yeah. Christine, you want to add something?
Yes, I would like to jump in.
Yeah.
Because I think we need to differentiate the performance evaluation and the development goals. So the performance evaluation, so it is recommended from a job sharing perspective to have common goals in terms of the job. Either job sharing would be difficult. So this is a recommendation. And then when it comes to individual development or the job sharing tandem development, this is then something else, because of course you're still individual and you have two different persons, and it should be a personal decision whether to have a development talk individually with a manager or also in tandem, when you say for the next 2 or 3 years or for the next development step, we would like to be developed in this tandem together. So it absolutely makes sense to also have development discussions together. But yeah, this is then a personal choice. But at least it's a recommendation to do the performance evaluation on the job together and to share the goals. I don't know, maybe there are also exceptions possible. But when it comes to the job, I think both are responsible, so the talks should be together.
I would say I would not believe that our manager could say Lea is working good on this and Nina is working good on this, because he is leading tandem and this is our work result, and I would say it's super difficult for him to see the differences, because we are also balancing out our skills so that we are working very nice for Beiersdorf, and I would say this is also challenging on the manager perspective.
True. And interesting, because you were talking also about the responsibility, and we wanted to know, okay, how would it work? I mean, in case there is an issue, who is responsible? As you have two, I mean, you are leading a team. Who is responsible if there is a mistake or something which is not going on well? How does it work? Because I mean, I'm asking this because we always have this question in France. That's a key question. And is there any regulation or rules, or how is it? I mean, from a legal also perspective.
So the team is knowing who is working on which day, and then we have for our main stakeholders group chats, and also if someone is calling me and I'm out of office, it will go directly to Nina. So you can call or write to Nina or me. It does not matter, because any one of us will answer or will respond. And
you have one common email address for you?
And yes, we have our shared email address.
Shared address, yeah.
So in Teams, we have this kind of group chats or WhatsApp groups, something like this.
I was more thinking in case if there is a mistake or something you did wrong, or one of you did wrong, and then there is this is a big issue for the company. Who is responsible for that? Or if there is, that's one point. And then if there is something which is not working with one of the person of your team, who is dealing with that, and who will be the one Yes, responsible. Do you see my point, or?
Yes. Yeah, so regarding on mistakes, I would say we didn't had such a big mistake where we had some legal issues.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good
Good.
point. So also when there are little mistakes, I did or Lea did, then we are just doing this together.
Yeah, there's no finger pointing, so we have to tackle this together and to solve the problem. I think it's daily business to do it together. And if there's an emergency, we will talk who is responsible. And every Monday we have this kind of discussion. Who will go in what kind of meeting and what is your topic this week? And then it's clear. Or we can just have a quick chat because we are working 4 days overlapping. So we just have a quick chat. So you will manage, or maybe we can do it together. So it depends on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when we are writing emails, we are signing with our real names. So Nina or Lea, so the person know who is responsible and who I can talk to. But some crucial mails also to our bosses and also important stakeholders we sign with LeNi, because then it's our shared value and we are both responsible. Yeah. And also with the team, I would say together we are also then discussing challenging feedback or something like this, or challenging situations.
Maybe there are some rules or that you can share.
The legal perspective is irrespective if it is a tandem or an individual. I think it is recommended to share, of course, also backlashes, mistakes. So this is then very individual. Important for me is then our recommendation that the job sharing tandem is one voice to the organization, so that they cover the mistake together. What is then in the background and how they deal with each other is very much, of course, depending on the two personalities. But for me, this is also a big chance in terms of opportunities to share successes, of course, and to celebrate successes together, but also to share mistakes, and then it makes it easier for the individuals to cover that.
Because in France, where the legal framework is strict, and maybe I don't know exactly the legal framework in Germany. Maybe it's more free or easier. How does it work with the employment contract? Is it something special or just splitting, or don't know?
These are two part-time contracts. LeNi, how have you? Do you have a more pragmatic example from your contracts?
We have separate contracts, and then in the organizational chart we are together. But other than that, our contracts are individually.
Is it also written with whom you are working with, or it's only said that you are working part-time? And I remember from my contract there was also written the days I'm working during the week, but
So now we have a full-time contract, so there's nothing like this, but it's only a normal Beiersdorf contract with the position, and it's the same position as in Nina's contract.
And as you are leading a team, how does it work with your team? How did they react when they knew that they would have a job tandem as a manager? How do they behave, and what benefits do you see also for them, or challenges also with them?
So good for us is we work with the team before our leadership position. So some of the people know us, and this was also a benefit, I would say, because they know how we are working and how they could also work with us. Some people are doing this. I said good cop and bad cop. They were just asking Lea and then asking me. And I think we just get it very fast and then worked against this. I ask only this person a question or this person. So we always said we are both responsible and please call whoever is working. So it worked very well. And I would say they see also the benefits that they get a feedback from two perspectives, because we are two individuals, and see also in a meeting you can't catch everything, but then sometimes together we catch most of the things, and then also can get feedback or give feedback to the team, and also in regards of holidays or vacation or sickness, there's always a person responsible and also reachable. Yeah, so it's also a big benefit for the team that we are working with two persons in a position. Yeah.
And interesting that you said that you are bringing more feedbacks, that you have, yes, your own view, and that's for sure complementary. Yeah.
If one of you decide to leave or to do something else, did you prepare this situation?
So we did not prepare, but I think we have very direct feedback and very open communication. So it's clear that there can be a point where you decide to go your own way. And I think it's fine for us because it's your work life and you have to be happy and to decide what you would like to work on. So I think at the moment we are very happy to be LeNi and to develop, but at some point it can be that we will, split.
Also, first when we started, it was an experiment. We don't know how it worked out for us and also for the team, our position, but it worked out well. And then Lea ended her bachelor degree, and I was also ending my bachelor and then taking over a new position. And I'm doing now my master degree. Lea is working full time, so it developed also on the way. But we are always in an open communication. When something changed for both of us, we can always talk together and then see how is the solution. Yeah.
And we are also in a discussion with our leadership and HR. So it was clear that at the point we are ending our bachelor degrees, that we want to have some additional work time, or that I want to go in the full-time position. And yes, it was great that we had the chance to develop together and took over the team responsibility.
Yeah, no, that's super, because that's always, I mean, that's a question that we are asked all the time in France. Because if there is a tandem, okay, they're working together, but then one day it can happen that one decides to do something else or to go for, they do not want necessarily to continue together. So how does it work? Because one is leaving, then how do you handle this? How do you manage that?
Yeah, this comes maybe with the experience we already have with this working model, that these special situations occurred. Most of the time it was because one of the partners did not yet finish the family planning, so went on a parental leave again and being absent for a certain amount of time, where the other person had the chance to reflect. Does he or she want to continue alone? Maybe also working full-time again, or will she be looking for another partner, where we then found a solution, posting a job ad for this tandem position part in a certain role, and also this personal development. So there it is recommended to be open and transparent. If you decide to develop alone, or to develop, to take another decision, maybe a bigger role, and to have a chat with your tandem partner whether this is also an option for the other person. And then this is, I think it's a challenging period of time, and a clear and open communication is recommended, as you already explained, Léni, to develop beforehand, or to discuss and decide beforehand, and then have this clear position also towards the manager or towards HR. Then, because it's also possible that one person says, no, I would like to remain in this role. I'm in the personal situation where I cannot imagine to develop already, or to be even promoted into a bigger role. Please leave me here. I stay here. I wishing you good luck and all, and best success. But I will be taking care of myself, and then also staying on the role alone in part-time, or looking for a tandem partner, or working full-time. So it's the same decision process. And we have this experience that we are then looking from different perspectives and challenge and channels how to provide another, a successor of the one person who is leaving.
But you are helping for that, right? You have
yes, I'm supporting.
How do you support them?
I'm supporting with at least profiles, or I make our pool aware of this vacancy, so I can fill the pipeline of applications, but also the HR business partners and also managers have networks, and of course towards legal perspective, and Workers' Council is very keen on giving up equal opportunities to everybody. So we have to open a talent pool and then find the best suitable person for this open position. But from a job sharing perspective, it's very recommended and also tested to involve the remaining person very close to the recruitment process. To make sure if it's a job share that it also fits from also a personal from a personal perspective. Otherwise you are running into a job split and won't proceed with the job sharing concept.
And are there any specific qualities required for job sharing?
Will you start, LeNi? Do you have an idea? What?
So I would say in a job sharing, you need to be very so your communication style needs to fit to the person, and you have also clear communication and also transparency in your communication with each other and also with the stakeholders. And then I would say so that you are not so selbstbewusst or self-confident, and not only I go first and let's see what happens with the team, but you need to be a team player.
Not to be selfish.
Yeah, not to be selfish, because as a team, so for me, it's always important that our team is working great, and we are also as a team have a good image, and also working with our stakeholders, that everything is smooth for the stakeholders and fine, that they're not troubling because we are two persons, but also that they see the benefits.
Yes, so you have to be a team player, definitely, but in the view of the tasks, you have to have the same approach on the result of the task, and it doesn't matter how you get to it, but the result has to be good for both.
Okay. And for this was obvious for you right from the start when you started, or you learned by the?
No, it was not obvious. So we thought it could match, but we were not sure. So we just tested it and dived in, and yes, works great.
Yeah. So we're handling different tasks, but the result is the same. So I think this is also very important, and there is no so much space for criticism or.
Oh, I know that Nina is the Excel pro, so the tasks which is within Excel, I always ask Nina to do. So,
and you Lea, what is your where it's easier for you? On which task or?
Yes, so we can just split the tasks on the strength everyone has.
And Christina, what you've seen, yes, or?
I found something out over the course of the years that, for example, our core values we have at Beiersdorf perfectly fit here. And any other company may have other core values, so this could also be an approach. How aligned are the individuals towards the core values? But if you have a look at ours, it is care, courage, simplicity, and trust. And this is what you need. You need the trust, as Nina already said. You have to trust the other person. You have to have a trust in other persons. And if you don't have this so far, because this is not part of your personality ingrained, you have the perfect chance to learn it. And then the courage to first of all, raise your hand and saying, I would like to work in a job sharing. Tell them this maybe needs some courage, and also to share your fields of improvement with the other person. So maybe you have to admit, like you said, Lea, oh, maybe I'm not that Excel pro. Can you please take over? And this already needs to have and
courage.
Then the care aspect is taking care of the role together, and then also maybe for the other person that you can be, if you perceive the other person not feeling well, that you say, oh, maybe I take over, please take a rest. And then also taking care of yourself with this model and also of the other person. And the simplicity aspect, just do it, just share your role. So this would be the perfect prerequisites or values you could bring along, or you should bring along, and then it makes this little mini team work.
Interesting, because it's really regarding the core value of Beiersdorf. Yes, fully. And also what we've seen, that most of the time you said that you have a complementarity on the, I would say, hard skills, but then what we've seen is in the tandem in general is that it's really key to have soft skills or values that are really more values.
What about in your opinion, what is the future of job sharing in Germany, or maybe in France, maybe overseas?
I think the result of job sharing in the future is a better work-life balance and more team players. But to be honest, I think job sharing is at the moment something which is only released in bigger companies. So maybe the first future would be to roll it out in smaller companies too, that they can see the benefit and that the employees can benefit from it.
Awareness. And I think we have a lot of smaller or smallest companies, like startups, for example. I think many startups with co-founders like you do already doing job sharing, and some might not know that they are doing a job share while sharing a general management position or a CEO position in smaller startups. This is what Lea already said. This is, of course, the biggest benefit also for the employee, the work-life balance, but also the asset for a company, or it increases the employer attractiveness, because we offer those kind of working models, and it's opening the talent pool. And when we have a look at the future, that maybe the younger generation has another perspective also on their work life, and they maybe also want to try themselves out in other aspects and need some more time, or, as I already mentioned, want to establish or want to start their startup while having the security of a paid job on the other hand. So this is benefiting for all. This is a real win-win, not only for employees, but also for employers. What I perceive is not that clear and not that transparent, because it's very much in this niche that this is something beneficial for employees. No, it's not. It's also for companies. So in terms of productivity, outcome, innovation rate, and so on. And I would love to see, of course, more tandems, because this is something, this collaborational aspect needs to become more, companies and also employees need to be more aware of the positive sides of collaboration. So in terms of productivity, creativity, innovation, so on. And of course, I would love to see in future more on board level. In Germany, we already have examples where tandems are on board level, and maybe also a successful CEO position in tandem. I would love to see. And that we step by step move it out of this niche. It's only for returning mothers in Germany. This is maybe still the case, but then step by step reframing the whole concept, offering to all employees and to all companies. This would be my vision.
In France, we have often a question about the productivity, and an argument to develop maybe in France the job sharing is there some benefits with the productivity?
I think I think this is an investment in productivity to establish job sharing tandems. And of course, the approach needs to be successful. Like LeNi, for example, you have to have a job sharing tandem which is working out perfectly in terms of smooth handover, pragmatic decision making. Like Nina already mentioned, I take the decision and Lea works with that and continues with that. And in case of challenging decisions, you try to find a way to decide quickly. So when you have a seamless working tandem, the productivity is increased. If you have two perspectives, you already develop your individual perspectives into one even better solution. So this is the productivity is already increased. And in Germany,
you have figures for that?
I don't know if you know the job sharing hub.
Yeah.
For example, they did this productivity study already in Germany with bigger corporations asking the managers about the productivity of the tandems, which is then proving that the outcome of job sharing tandems who work well is higher than if you're working alone on your job. Yes.
Okay. So the benefit is this is key as to show that's not only for the employee but also for the employers.
Yeah.
Because they're the one who are investing, and that's why also we're working to calculate the return on investment of the approach, because that's also key to reassure them and to say that it's a good investment.
And if you imagine, as a manager, you have a full-time position and this person is going on holiday or on sick leave or is leaving the company, then the role is empty, 100%. But you have a tandem which is working well, handing over, not taking maybe any holiday together, but share the holidays. Then you always have somebody in place at the amount of time, so 50, 60, 70%, and the role is filled. Then there is still somebody. And this is bare money, which you can calculate. And during the course of the year, you invest the 20% only in the productivity of the tandem and not just to make it happen. So you can calculate it. And we did this best practice or this business case already.
Okay.
So yes.
And at the end, what's the ROI? Do you have some numbers?
So far it was zero, really.
Okay.
So the 20% were fully
compensated or
Yes, fully compensated. And now I have a new one, but I still have to check maybe because of the latest studies. We are calculating that it at least saving 4,000 euros in a year. This is not that much, but I think it's still proving that it's at least not more expensive when you have a full-time role and sharing it with 60-60, that it is at least not more expensive than having a full-time employee working 100%.
Yeah. So you have the financial benefit, but also all the other benefits that also, LeNi, you were mentioning. And this sometimes you cannot evaluate from a financial perspective, but you see the impact on the people, and as you say, to keep people in the company or to retain or to attract also.
To attract and retain talent, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna conclude soon. And before that, we had 2 questions. So LeNi, if you're for both of you, if your partner were the coffee, she would be espresso ristretto, which means fast, intense, always ready in the starting block, or more latte macchiato, soft, creamy, with a smart touch.
For our first Monday meeting, it's more like latte macchiato, and it maybe develop to an espresso.
Okay. That's a good mix. Okay. You see the richness.
What's your motto for job sharing?
Go high or go home.
Go high or go
home.
Love it.
Great.
This also we want people parties here at Beiersdorf, so we developed it during a party because we had a training, 3 days leadership training, and then we were asking each other
go high or go home, and we decided on this evening to go home, but in general, go high.
And for you,
Great.
Christina, what would be your motto for job sharing?
I always love sharing is caring.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Léni.
much.
Thank you, Christina. That was very inspiring. So hope that it will give some also ideas
Mhm.
outside and in spreading it in France. So thanks a lot, and wish you lots
Thank
of
Yeah.
success. Continue in your you go high, you go high.
Why not?
Wishing you a lot of success also with the approach to create transparency in France. I also, of course, appreciate this transparency and marketing and consultancy around this working model.
Mm.
So all the best for you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
See
And
you. Have a
thank you,
nice day.
Léni,
Thank
once
you.
again. Thank you.
Nous sommes ravis d'avoir passé ce moment avec vous. Nous espérons que vous en avez appris un peu plus sur le job sharing. Si vous avez aimé l'épisode, n'hésitez pas à le partager.